Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. You know what the thumbnail says. You know who we're shining the light on today. I'm very stoked about that. One of the dynamic trio we know, Terri, Sherry, and Julie Wynn. They do stuff together, have been for a long, since I've been on OnPassive. Anyway, I want to cover a little bit of yesterday before we spotlight the main person here. I loved it. We went in. I don't like to use the word leader, but I'm going to say this. We put some of the main guides in OnPassive together in one screen. I do want to say I loved it. The outpouring for support for Ask Mufara. Chris went through and collected some of them and put them in a post. We have a place where we chat privately over stuff, and he pulled up the whole post. And I do want to say, our CEO, my brother, one of the people I respect the most on this planet, was overwhelmed. He absolutely loved it. That is his wind beneath his wings. Whatever he's going to, we know is not pleasant. We know, but I think with Ash, I think because his compass is working what God would want. I don't care what your religion is. I just know that's who he is. And he had told me one time, like I said 1,000 times, big doors are there. He opens it and it looks unbelievable. This is going to be great for the people. That's how he talks. Everything he does is for us. And that door would slam in his face maybe a month, 2 months later. But he said, because of this business and because of his life, the next door that opened was even better than the one that slammed in his face. And he said, yes, we got knocked to our knees, okay? But he said, sometimes you got to hit rock bottom because as long as you look up, you can get up. And he dusted himself off. And when he started to see the light after getting knocked down, the vision and what he wants is even bigger. And he believes not only is it bigger, we're going to catch up on time and be where he wanted to be to begin with. And remember something, where he wants to be is bigger and better than anything we could imagine. I know for a fact. I listened to him talk in the webinar when he says that years ago, I don't even care that there wasn't a lot of spam where you could stop it, but putting out 80 million emails a day, that's unheard of. Even back in the early 2000s, unheard of. I've done thousands and tens of thousands, but millions, no, sorry. So when he looks at that, he has the compass, the comparison of what is great and what is spectacular. And what he's brought up with AI traffic, that is light years ahead of anything we could imagine. And I'm so happy, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, because I know some of the, I realized some of the crap that he went through was just gut-wrenching. But when you see him happy, I know he sees something or he's cooking something in the kitchen that we are going to love. And I want to tell you, I've done targeted traffic. I can do it today. It's not easy. It take me 3 months to set up a campaign. Whatever we're doing, 3 months. And then it would take me, I would be fine tuning it with Mike and Dan for another month, month and a half to get it where it's working. And it's a moving object. It's very difficult. But to have someone like Ask Mufara surrounds himself with the best in the world to go AI and put this thing on autopilot for all of us, you guys, it's priceless what could happen. It's priceless what could happen. And I'll tell you what happened in OnPassive besides that, which I think is one of the most valuable things of all. Look at the people. Look at the people that I met 5.5 years ago. And through the journey, okay, through the journey, people that have developed from an inchworm into a butterfly, I guess I would say. But the metamorphosis of the company and people, it's not like the company is evolving and people stayed the same. That did not happen. when we got into all the webinars and all the stuff, I know people are saying, oh my God, all these webinars, we're all talking. Why do we need, we're a social animal. We need it like we need oxygen. And I tell you what, the most powerful part of all these webinars and people getting together is being in one place where everybody has the same connection through here. I've met people that are very intelligent, but it's not someone I'd always want to hang around with. Because in OnPassive, I found that some people that think they're not intelligent, think they don't have wisdom, but if they're in the right place in a fertile ground like OnPassive, I'm seeing people that I go, oh my gosh, I didn't know they knew. I didn't know who they really were. And now we're getting a powerhouse. We're getting an army of people, men and women, that are blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. I can't wait to put on the computer. I can't wait to go listen to people and hear what they have to say. And a couple months ago, chatting with Chris, I said, you know, everybody knows who I am in OnPassive. Nobody knows me in the world. Everybody knows who Chris is. There's a few of us everybody knows, but it's time to switch that spotlight around and put it on people that matter. In the industry I came from, everybody, you know, so-called the best are walking across stage, and you're just down there at the bottom like some kind of sheep. OnPassive flips that around. If you're watching this, this is what OnPassive does. It takes you at home sitting alone, maybe a single mom or a single man raising kids and going, I guess this is as good as it gets. It is, unless you're getting OnPassive. And you would see what I mean. It's free to get here, but come hang out with people that feel like you do, that have been where you were or are now. There is hope. I'm telling you. You don't see me pushing this as a business part as much as I push it as a human part, a building block of people. Anyway, I took enough time. I want to let you know. Thank you, everybody that showed up yesterday. I became very good friends with many, many Indians. Many Indians. I can talk to Chris Rennie. He'll do what I request. I go where he wants me to go. Same with Chris. We deliberately made a relationship. You got to force it sometimes because you don't know. And once I did, I'm so glad I did. One of the best shine the lights were with the Indians. It was unbelievable. Go watch it. It was great. And the women in OnPassive are some of the strongest, smartest women I've ever met in my life. And I worked with women and everything. So did Chris, he told me. You find a good woman in business or anything like that, they're untouchable. I mean that. And no doubt there's really good men, but in this business, you give the woman the power to be free and talk, and they've got that special thing. OnPassive was built for women, no doubt, because it's a heartfelt company. Anyway, I'm gonna bring on this wonderful lady, Terri Thompson. Her and her husband, I've seen them. You see them all the time. They're always in the background, but it's always positive. It's like the energy of OnPassive. There's a lot of people back there you don't hear as much. You may not see as much, but when you do, you go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Something special about that person. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So I'm going to bring her on, and Chris is going to do what he does best and introduce her.
Hey! Welcome, Terri Thompson. You look beautiful as always. I'm excited about this because I personally know you on a person-to-person level. I know a lot about your life, which I enjoy a lot of it through your husband and what he does, and you'll talk about that. But I want to say a few things about Terri. Is number one, she's a 100% family person. Um, a lot of you don't know she gives everything she's got to her family as far as love, happiness. She's always there, and she's got some amazing brothers, an amazing mom, and we've all shared that a little bit with her over the years. But she's very well spoken, absolutely. She's an angel from Julia and Sherry and Terry's Angels. And boy, if angels look like that in heaven, I can't wait to get there. So, on that beautiful note, I want to introduce to a lady that's she's always there. She's just really busy with her personal life and family, but Terri Thompson. Please, let's hear what you got.
Thank you so much, Chris. That is so sweet. And I mean that. And Marty, thank you. Both of you, thank you so much for having me. I can't thank you enough for doing shining the light. And that is what OnPassive is literally all about, is lifting up others. So you couldn't have picked a better title. And thank you for what you both do from the bottom of my heart. And I just, you have had so many great guests on the show, and everything that they say, I'm like, oh my gosh, you kind of feel like they're taking the words out of your mouth, because everything they talk about OnPassive and our CEO, Mr. Ashmafar, it's perfect. You just kind of think, oh, they just said everything I wanted to say. So this morning I'm thinking, okay, why am I so steadfast? Why am I so loyal to this company of OnPassive? And I think one of the reasons, because there's many, I'm going to go ahead, if you don't mind. I'm going to share. I'm going to be a little raw. I'm going to be honest. I always am. I think when you are that way, it opens up, other people can resonate, and it gives them the opportunity to feel comfortable to do the same. So I'm going to share a little bit about my past. And I think because of my past and things that I have been through, I think that's the reason I resonate and love OnPassive. So I'll tie it in together. I started thinking this morning, like, gee, at 18 years old, I remember I'm moving out, and I'm going to hit the world. And I had the best parents. I say had. My dad has passed away. My mom, bless her, is still alive. She'll be 86 in August. She's a founder as well. My entire family is, of course. And so I had the best parents. I really didn't, if I were smart, I probably would have stayed home. But no, I got to be adventurous, got to go for it. And went ahead and moved out, got a job, got an apartment, got a really clunker car, but it worked. And decided I was going to go to a junior college. My parents didn't go to college. They met each other, and 2 weeks later got married, and never spent a day apart. And by the way, they were both engaged to other people, broke it off, fell so in love in 2 weeks, and got married. Best couple you can imagine, best upbringing I can ever, tell you. But okay, so here I am in my apartment, get a job. I'm going to be the first one to go to college. So I played volleyball in high school, and I had a choice between two junior colleges that were very well known for volleyball. Both the coaches were kind of after me, kind of bugging me to play for them. I mean, after all, I'm 6'1", and I loved it. Volleyball is my passion. I did it every day. I played down at the beach. Anytime I could play volleyball, I did. So I kind of picked. There were, between the two colleges, there was one that was closer to the beach. It was the cool college to go to. I mean, the women were pretty, the guys were cute, and I was, oh my gosh, I got to go to that one. I'm young. I got to go where the cute guys are. But I changed my mind kind of at the last minute, and they were usually number one in volleyball, very, very well known for their volleyball. But kind of changed my mind at the last minute and decided I think I'm going to go to the other one. They were very good in volleyball, but usually came in second behind this other one. I want to go and I want to make a difference. So ended up making it a little harder myself. I had to drive inland, and working all through that time and supporting myself and stuff. It was not easy. And we worked out 4 or 5 hours a day. I'd run to work after, and just kind of tough times, but it paid off. We won the state championship title. I actually got voted best player in the state. So I made the right choice. I made a tougher choice, but I ended up making the right choice. I will say it got very difficult for me, and I didn't come back the second year. It was too hard keeping up with the bills, etc. And I thought, I'll be okay. I have grades actually came easy to me, but I'm going to be honest, I was kind of more into volleyball than college. I was having fun and stuff. So I didn't go back the second year. I thought to myself, I'll just go out and get myself a job and take care of myself. Well, that didn't just happen as I had planned so perfectly in my mind. I actually ended up having a very difficult time finding a job then. Ended up losing my car, my apartment, and gonna make me choked up a little, but actually for a little while, I didn't have a roof over my head. Sorry. It was scary. I was young. I was 19 or 20 by then. And I had a family, of course, I could turn to. I have 4 brothers. I'm the only girl in my families, and great parents, great brothers. But that's not the way we were brought up. I put myself in that situation. I had to get out of it. I didn't go to my family. I was going to figure this out. I think being the only girl in the family, I was pretty strong. I have a strong mind, and a strong will. So I'm going to get myself out of this, which I did. I remember literally walking and walking forever, going into any business, every business along the way, and just applying. And it didn't happen right away. So you can imagine, had some pretty scary days and nights, but I got through it. I mean, I was determined. I knew I could do it. I kept a positive attitude. I've always been that way in life. I just look at everything in the most positive light I can. And I got that job. It was at a timeshare company. I remember it so well. But it got me out. It got me back with a car. It got me back with my apartment. I worked hard for it, and I learned a lot of lessons along the way with that. And let me see, got married, my first marriage a few years after. So in my young 20s, had 2 beautiful, amazing children that are the love of my life. And during that time, I thought, I want to go to work, but I don't want to leave the kids with just anybody. So I went back to college, got my units to become a preschool teacher, which I did because that way I could have my kids at the preschool under my supervision. And, I always figure out a solution when there's rough times. I will say, probably 7 years later, I found myself going through a divorce, which I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I don't care if you want it or you don't want it. It is the hardest thing that you could possibly go through and do to your kids. I mean, that was the hard part. I could handle myself, but to have to rip your kids' lives apart, it's unimaginable. But I did it. And all of a sudden I found myself a single parent, with 2 beautiful kids that I was bound and determined to raise self-reliant, respectful kids, even though they struggled. And, one was in 8th grade, one was in high school, and those were the toughest years ever. But I persevered. I got a job. I became a manager. I just had so much drive because I had a purpose, and my reason was everything. And then I ended up switching jobs and became a manager of a large volleyball club, club volleyball, and helped coach kids, ended up just doing everything I could for kids. And guess what? I ended up exactly what I wanted because I did not stop. I did not give up. My kids are so they're thriving, they're respectful young adults, and I've got grandkids now, and they're my life. And through those hard times, I was blessed. I was blessed with my current husband, Michael, and happily married. Could not have found a better partner in life. He's my rock star in many ways. Mostly my husband and a father, to his kids, and my kids were all one big happy family. And he actually plays in a Van Halen tribute band called Van Halen. He's the drummer. And so I do call him my rock star husband. We have fun with that. It keeps us young. He's on the road a lot. I do stay home because we have a dog. I take care of our dog, and our dog misses us too much. So I do stay home a lot, but when he plays local, I'm always there rocking out with him. And, like I said, staying young. The reason I told you my whole story, sorry to bore you with it, but I think that is why I am so committed and so aligned with what OnPassive is and who leads OnPassive, our CEO, Mr. Ashmafara, because those things that I went through, they're a smidgen compared to what he deals with daily. And we know that. And we don't even know, we know this much of it, but his drive, his commitment towards us and OnPassive, he never gives up. And he does it in such a positive attitude. It gives me goosebumps literally, because I can relate in a smaller way, but I can relate. I mean, honestly, I know all of us get on here and go on and on about OnPassive and him, and rightfully so. But to be honest, all of us here, I believe, would not have that faith and that hope and that trust in OnPassive if it were not for the leader that we have in Ash. Because, he comes on, he is so real and so honest, and lets us know exactly where we're at. If we didn't have that, how would we have that faith in OnPassive? So I know that's one of the many reasons that hey, don't bring anything else to me. I mean, anybody out there that knows, I used to be into cryptocurrency years ago. I mean, that's all I did. And I studied hard. I didn't know a thing about it and I studied hard about it, about blockchain, about wallets. I did every platform that was out there known to mankind. And oh my gosh, you talk about a roller coaster. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't make any money. I did, but trust me, I lost money. It was a huge learning curve. And I just decided several years back, you know what? Our CEO is so committed, and I love what OnPassive represents so much, that I myself need to be so committed. And I stopped everything that I did. And it just, I know that we don't have to. I know we can do whatever we want. I realize that. But for me personally, I couldn't lay my head down at night comfortably knowing I was supporting something else when our CEO is out there busting his butt for us daily. I don't care. My husband and I, we live check to check. We do. I'm just, like I said, I'm being real. I don't care what people brought to me. I was not going to waver, and I have not. And it's still, they're still coming in. No, leave me alone. I'm only OnPassive. And that's my commitment. That's my thank you back to our CEO and the team, all of you. That's just my way of showing I'm not going anywhere. I've been in since 2018. I wouldn't change a single thing on that journey. And one last thing, to wrap it up, basically, I know in my heart, I'm so sure that I made the right decision. It's the only thing that I will share and share proudly because I'm so confident in it. But I know I made the right choice because, and I know all of you are going to understand this, I really do. You know, it hit me a good while back when, yes, are we all so excited and anxious to show this to the world and get going fully in it? Yes, but I wouldn't change the journey whatsoever. But when our CEO goes through something, or his family, or the team, they go through something, whether it be illness, surgery, you name it, and your whole mindset shifts and you only seriously care deeply that they're okay. Or any of our passive family gets sick and your whole mindset shifts to prayers. It is not about when is OnPassive going to come out to the world? When are we going to start? It's not that is out the door, because there's nothing more important than caring about one another. And that's what we have in OnPassive. And when Mr. Ashmafara goes through things as well, I don't care. Take another year, please. Just please get well. And I mean that with every single founder in OnPassive. I pray daily for everybody. But you know, when you have that heart shift, you know you're in the right place. And I also want to do a shout out to my angels, Julie and Sherry. You're a blessing in my life. I love you both so much. You mean the world to me. They're the best people ever. If any of us are sick, they are literally right there. They're everything to me. And many of you are here as well. So that's about it. I'm just very blessed and grateful for everything that's come my way in life, but especially all of you and OnPassive.
Wow, Terri, you want to keep going? Because I can listen to this all day long. You just someone made a comment in there. I love that you said I'm going to be raw here. That's what we're looking for. You just broke down your whole life in 25 minutes, and there's a lot more to tell, I'm sure, about you. But totally amazing stories. I did not know about the volleyball. I guess I missed that part. I think that's pretty cool, and I'm sure Julie Wen's daughter's going crazy because she's a big volleyball nut.
Yes.
And wow, what a story! You tell your husband I want to get him on here. We'll pull him aside because I want him to talk about his Van Halen. If anyone knows Van Halen, they are and I'm not going to say a mock-up. These guys are almost perfect to how they sing and sound and band, and they're completely awesome. So if you go on Terri Thompson's Facebook page, she has quite a few posts of that group, and it's pretty cool. And this is something Terri's done probably a big part of her life because she loves music. Obviously, she loves her husband. He's the drummer. I think he plays the bass too, doesn't he? Does he play drums and bass? Just drums?
I mean, he can play other instruments, but he's definitely a drummer.
Yeah. So these two are amazing. I've known Terri and her husband probably for, I would say 3 years, give or take.
Yeah.
I met them actually through Julie and Sherry, and these three girls got together and they blow us away. Haven't seen a live from you three in a long time because I know you've been busy, and that's okay. But I want to personally thank you for coming on here, sharing your story. You're going to relate to a lot of people, especially about the single mom. Finding my way, fighting my way, getting there with kids. That's a lesson that everyone needs to hear because there's a lot of people right now who may be in the same situation and maybe you feel there's no hope. This lady right here called Terri Thompson just said there is hope. There's faith, God, love, everything about OnPassive. And she did this way before OnPassive. Remember that. She's a trooper. She's a fighter. And she's a true founder because she, like many of you, can relate to what Ash is going through, even though what his might be a bigger scale, but not really, because the scale that you had and was hard, and you did it. So Terri Thompson, before I hand it over to Marty, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I love your husband, and I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm so proud of you for telling your story. Marty DeGarmo, back to you.
Well, Terri, I expected big, but you blew it away. You were amazing. I was just sitting there listening to your story, and I'm going, oh my God. And the beauty of it is, I know you know what impact will have on other people listening. I can tell the way she thinks and talks, because there's people out there that think, oh my God, I can relate to that, and how hard you fought for everything. I remember listening to a video from, I can't think of his name. He was a motivational speaker. Same thing, where he would go and go and go, and they kept telling him no for the jobs, no, no, no. But he never gave up. Les Brown. If you ever get a chance, Terri Thompson is the female version of Les Brown, no doubt about it. And 6'1", you better love volleyball, okay? Volleyball was one of my favorite of all time when growing up. I absolutely love. I wasn't at her level, but yeah, I love it. But thank you so much for sharing. When I hear people like you, this is what made me so happy that we did this, because I felt there was diamonds and things out there that people need to hear. People needed to hear what you had to say today. I believe that. And you're in OnPassive because you're meant to be. You know that too. You know, when it came out, you feel like you belong here. And that's a big, big deal. Same for me when I was years ago, when I traveled around the world, meeting all the people, I thought, oh my God, I lost all that at 42. Is this as good as it gets? I'm done. And then for OnPassive to come, people say, oh, you're passive. It's not passion. I belong here. I mean, when you find something you belong to, you don't have to be talked into it. And I'm like you, a lot of people come up with different ideas. I'm like, they don't exist. I don't want to hear them. God bless you. Have a great life. But no, thank you. But no, Terri, you were amazing. I love it. We got to get Sherry on here. And we got to get Julie on here. Julie's been really busy with her daughter with volleyball and all. Yeah. And then one day we might bring you on as all three of you, because it's a different dynamic. You know what I mean? It's like Marty, Mike, and Dan. They all thought that was one man. I'd like to meet Marty, Mike, Dan. We're three people. Anyway, no, fantastic. I'm blown away. I know everybody is, because of all the comments are blown off the chart. But Terri, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean that. You guys close out, say some last remarks, and I'll shut it off.
I can't wait. Thank you, both of you. I truly love you both. I can't wait to just pay it forward with OnPassive. Dave yesterday blew me away with his plans. They are perfect. They are beautiful. My husband and I have sat down and start to write out our plans, but I'm going to be honest, we're all over the place. We want to help so many different areas. It's, kids and animals and veterans and the elderly, you name it, we're on it. But we think about it daily, and we can't wait to make a difference in this world. Thank you both so much. I mean that, for having me. And thank you, everybody, for joining.
Wow. It's our pleasure. And thank you, Terri, for coming on and sharing your story. Tomorrow, I got a lady that I don't really know much about. Marcianne had sent me information. Her name is Kitty Makaya or Mackie. I'm not sure how you say it, but I will be contacting you, Marcianne, and we'll be sending the link. We have Mamadou on Saturday, and Sunday is either going to be Sherry Dursaway or Julie Wynn. First one that calls me wins. So, and we'll keep on doing this, guys. Send me people in that maybe are there and you just haven't heard of it. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter if I know them or not, because I'm going to get to know them on this show, and so is everyone else. So keep that in your mind. I love you, Terri. I love you, Marty. I love doing this. Actually, this is one of my best parts of the day, because I got to meet people I know and people I don't know. And let's keep shining the light and bringing people up, not down. Keep praying for everyone in the world, and let's just do this. Marty, back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep your prayers for Ashby Farr and his family, because they're the ones surely going through the hard stuff. They're plowing the field ahead so we can have a life unbelievable. Keep the faith. Planet OnPassive is the only way. Trust me. I've been there, done that. I did crypto too. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I made money, but woo, yeah. Back in 2019. Oh my God. Actually 2018. Anyway, I'll see you all. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with a new guest. We're not sure. We don't know her, which would be even more fun. And Saturday we got Mama Do. I can't wait for that too. Anyway, Terri, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I knew you were a superstar, but I was wrong at the level. You are stratospheres above everyone. You're amazing, really.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
see you guys.
Bye.